Okay, working on Sync It today. It's going to be this right one. And see if I can zoom in and show you the problem here. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. Okay, this back right cup here is not lit up with the rest of them. And it kind of goes opposite of the others, I do believe. I was hoping it would kind of show us what was going on. So what I need to do is one of the things the boss is wanting is all these cups, of course, to light the way that they're supposed to. What I think it is I looked in the manual. There's like a little board that controls the way they turn on and off and what color they are. Well, they're always on or one color, but I think there's probably a resistor or something that's bad on that little board. And I think if we just change that out, we should be able to fix it. But let's figure out how we can test it, and we'll get back there and take a look. First, I need to power the game off. I'm going to go ahead and show you that. This isn't going to be a very long video. It's just a quick little deal. Figure out what's wrong with this. Get ready to order a bunch of parts. So I want to do this and get it on the list, if that's what it is. I'm not totally positive on that. So let's see if I can. I kind of wanted to show you the inside. That's a little bit better. So we have like a motherboard here. There's another little board over here. And then two little smaller boards, kind of like relays or something. But how we're going to turn it off is just right here. There's no on and off button on the back. But let's, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, and we'll get around the back of the game and check out that little board. Whoa. Okay, the light's actually pretty good. So this is the little controller board. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called, but this is what is running the lights for the cups. So I want to pull this out and just see if there's anything, on the back side of the board, or well, we can get a better look at it and check just to see if there's transistors on there, but they don't look like I thought they were going to look. That's all right. We'll figure out a way to test this and see what's going on. Now let me raise up here. I might have to just pick up the tripod. Let's see. I'll just pick it up. All right, so this is the cup that's acting funny, and there is the light board that's in there. Now this thing is super glued in, so I can't just take this out. There's also transistors on there. And it's also got a backing on it, and it's sealed. So there's not going to be a way, well, it looks like those are surface mounted anyway, so I wouldn't need to get to the back of it. And we see the red wire is on the right, the black wire is on the left, and then we can check. Now I think this is cup 7, if it's labeled like bowling, because you'll have a 7-10 split. So I think this is cup 7. So that will be, let me drop back down here again, sorry. Alright. So 7 is labeled here. It is nice, each one of these is labeled. So when we take this off, we'll be able to get it back together pretty well. 7 is down here in the corner. So that's kind of the one I'm going to look at there. But let's pull it off, take it in the office, and see if we can get a better look at it. Okay, so we have the little controller board, or whatever it's called, in here. Here's the schematic, I guess you want to call it. That's in the manual. Usually there's not this much. So I was wrong on which connector it was on here. I thought it was labeled kind of like bowling, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the one that's acting goofy. It's actually the other way around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a good thing I pulled it out and looked in here. At least, we can get a better look at it in the light. So let me see here. Turn the focus, or the flash off this time. It's always giving me problems. So it comes through, I think this is a resistor, because it says Q5. Usually Q is a resistor. And then hits these two, or transistor, I'm sorry, hits these two resistors, R10 and R9. R10 goes to 10, R9 goes to 9. So I would like to test the R10. Normally on a traditional, or what I would normally work on, resistor, it goes through the board. This is a surface mount, and I don't have the stuff yet to pull off one side of this to test this, but there is another way that I can do it. So basically, we did check that the light board, which was this way whenever we looked at it, that the red wire and the black wire were in this position, which is positive on this side and negative on this side. It's actually written there, right there. And so one thing I kind of looked at it, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, I was a little bit confused about, is these wiring, you have black on the top and red on the top over here, but that's fine, that's the way it's supposed to be. So that, I didn't really think that that was affecting it because we only have the one light that's out here, even though I thought it was this one. So what I'm going to do, install this back in the board, and I personally thought that it was going to be a resistor on here was bad, and it was causing it to lock on. I'm not sure if it switches when you hit, it might switch like from solid on to solid off, where it should go off to on, or vice versa. I can't remember how the game works exactly without playing it, which I guess I should have did before we started. So what I'm going to do is put it back on the game, and then I'm going to take plug 10, and instead of plugging it into 9, where it's going to compete with Q5 over here, I'm going to switch it off to this one over here, where this one I guess just does cup 8, and I guess it does 9 too. It comes over this way. It's just under that sticker. So I'm going to flip 8 and 10, and then we're going to see if 8 starts acting funny, or if it stays acting funny on 10, then I know that it's just this little light board right here, and that's what we'll have to replace. I don't think that we can find those. It's not in this manual. It doesn't mean that I can't replace it though, but we'll be able to know if it's either this little resistor on this board or if it's that light thing. So we will be able to troubleshoot it. We just won't be able to test the actual parts. So let's go ahead and swap those around and see what happens. Okay, so we got the board back in. It was 10 and not 7. It was labeled differently than bowling, which I'm actually kind of surprised of. So what I want to do is take the connector for 10 and the connector for 8, because I want to skip that transistor there, just in case that's a problem. So I want to switch this one and this one, and then we'll see if the cup lights stay the same, or if now we have a problem with cup 8. And if we have a problem with cup 8, then I know it's either, well, I think it's going to be that little resistor that we were looking at. And so, okay, here we go. Here's 10. Oh, there goes my flashlight. Sat there for an hour, finally fell. Okay, so, it wasn't an hour. Let's go ahead and go back up to the front. I'll turn the game on, I'll let it boot, and then we'll come back and see what happens. Okay, let's give it some power and we'll see what we got. So, it was cup 10, not cup 7, and it'll be cup 8 if it was the board, and we'll still have problems if it's the light board in cup 10. So let's kick it on. I was going to wait till it boots, but I imagine we're going to see it right away since it comes on. So, and we do. So it's cup 8. So like I was saying, I do think it is a resistor that's causing this problem. It's a surface mount resistor. Now, I did write the number down on it just in case that was the problem. I didn't want to have to pull it out again. So what I'll do is go ahead and order that, and then when I get my surface mount soldering iron, and that's not what it's called. I'll tell you what it's called when I get it, because I don't remember. Then we'll go ahead and change that resistor, and we'll get it fixed. But thanks for watching.
What did you think about that video? Did you like that video? I loved it. Was I not in it? Well, then I didn't love that. I better been in that video. I hope you liked the video. It was definitely my best work. If I'm not in that video, you better watch this one over here. Oh, if you're not going to do that, just subscribe and get a notification. Bye.